Hey, Matt here, and welcome to Mob Street. Today, I'm out here with my 2022 KLX230S, and we are gonna go put some road miles on this. Now, we want to do a little bit of a road test and see how it handles on the road. So right now, before we go, I'm gonna take a look at our dash here. We have 517 miles on there right now. So we're gonna go put some gas in it, and we are gonna go out and just see, you know, what the old KLX 230S can do. Kind of give you thoughts and opinions of it on the road. And we're just gonna go out and, yeah, hit the open road here in the countryside and just have a good time. So let's get after it. Okay, we stopped here for just a second. We've got about 35 miles on the bike. Stopped to grab a drink because it's a little warm out today. But just want to give you kind of an update on what we found so far. So on the way out here, it was all 2-lane highway, nothing that had more of a 65 mile an hour speed limit. And with the KLX, you know, it's got the 6-speed transmission. There was a few times I was able to reach over, just barely touch over 75, or no, excuse me, not 75, 70 miles on the speedometer. So I'm guessing I was probably going maybe about 65 to 67, somewhere in there, just not knowing if the odometer is 100% accurate or not. And I mean, it handled it pretty well, you know. So it's about 90, I'd say about 95 degrees out today, so it's a little bit warmer. But so far, I mean, as far as engine and transmission go, it's pretty decent for just cruising down, you know, anywhere from, I'd say 15 to 55 miles an hour. It's not bad. There is a little bit of a vibration in the handlebars. Not a ton, but still a little bit there. So we've gone, like I said, about 35 miles. I've got another 35 or more to get home. The biggest thing that I don't like about this so far is that freaking seat. It is like sitting on a board. So you got the seat, I mean, this is how narrow this thing is. I mean, and even though that looks like, oh, that's a whole bunch of padding, it's not. It's just the shape of the seat, just sitting down over these side panels here. I mean, there's not a bunch of padding in there whatsoever. And the only other thing that I'm not the biggest fan of, which I know they make adapters that you can get for these, so like I said, none of these are really deal breakers on the bike, but the mirrors, I can't really see out of the mirrors too well, so I've got to kind of like shift my way a little bit to see out of the mirrors, but overall not too bad. Anyways, I'll finish up this break here, gonna grab some water and just get ready to go again, and we'll go put some more miles on the bike. Just wanted to give you a little bit of an update. well, we are back. We've gone, so I reset my odometer here, like my trip meter at the gas station, 83.2 miles, and we have just passed the 600 mile mark on the KLX. Let me tell you, I stated it at the middle. Overall, for the road, it's not that bad as long as you're not going over 65 miles an hour. Even 65 was kind of pushing it on this with me. Now remember, I'm a little bit heavier. I'm sitting, you know, between the 235, 240 mark. That definitely could be an issue there with the overall top speed. As far as just going out and cruising and everything, it's really not that bad. The biggest downfall of the KLX is the seat. Now, the suspension, the tires, everything else felt pretty good, but that seat was freaking killer. I know that Seat Concepts makes a seat for these, and I think if you're going to be doing a lot of like sitting down riding on this bike, like if you're going to be using it a lot for the street, I would highly recommend getting that Seat Concept seat. I'm definitely, if I keep this bike, I will be putting that seat on there, because holy cow, that's one thing that I'm just not the biggest fan of. So I've stated it a little bit before in some of the other videos about the fuel gauge on here. I went 83.2 miles and I am just about empty. Now every time I've gone to fill up the bike and it's flashed empty on me like that, I still have a full gallon or a little close to a gallon in there. So this one has got just like the 2-gallon tank on it, and I mean, I'm over that now. So it was a big deal to me when I first started. Like every 10 miles, one of those lines was dropping, and at 80 miles, it started flashing empty. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. This thing is so stupid. But now it is what it is. So I've still got probably close to a gallon of fuel in there when it starts to flash, you know, empty. So I know that I can get to a station or whatever I need to do. So overall though, if you are getting the bike, I mean, if you're going to be doing mostly street riding on this, I would actually recommend the KLX230S M, which has the street tires on it and also the 17-inch wheels. And I think it would be a much more fun ride for the street than these bigger wheels and the knobbies that come on there. Anyways, I hope you guys found this video informative. Just wanted to give you kind of a review of the KLX230S on the street. It's decent. I think if you could get the seat fixed and maybe put a little bit more, I would say 50-50 road tires on there, then this would be a lot more comfortable for the street. And maybe even like, you know, some rackless saddlebags here. I know Nelson Riggs makes some. I know Tusk makes some as well. I'm definitely going to look into getting a tank bag for both, you know, for the bike as well. So anyways, just to make it a little bit more touring friendly. But so if there's any questions or comments, please put those down below. And if you haven't already, hit like, hit subscribe, and follow along. We've got more coming up with the KLX230S. There's a bunch of comparison videos that are coming up with it, so stay tuned. I'm Matt, this is Mob Street, and thanks for watching.